Voting for the November 5th general election starts tomorrow in West Virginia. Wood County residents can vote in person at the Judge Black Judicial Annex on Market Street from 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, and from 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Additional community voting sites at the Lubeck and Mineral Wells Volunteer Fire Departments, the Vienna Community Building, and the Williamstown City Building open with the same hours starting on October 29th. Absentee ballots can be requested up until October 30th for those wishing to vote by mail. Regardless of whether you vote by mail, in person, early, or on Election Day, Wood County Clerk Joe Gonzalez encourages all eligible voters to cast their ballots. Pleasants County residents can vote early at the county courthouse in St. Mary's. November 2nd is the last day for early voting in West Virginia. Marietta City Law Director Paul Bertram will serve as special prosecutor for charges raised against the Beverly Chief of Police. Misdemeanor charges of obstructing official business, falsification, domestic violence, and unlawful restraint are pending against Beverly Police Chief Todd Bumbelow in the Marietta Municipal Court. The charges stem from an alleged assault by Bumbelow against his 14-year-old stepdaughter that an affidavit from the Washington County Sheriff's Office says took place on October 6th. Bertram says an additional felony charge against Bumbelow was dropped. The felony charge may be included alongside the misdemeanors in an indictment if the Washington County Grand Jury chooses to issue one. Whether the case proceeds in the municipal court or in the Washington County Common Pleas Court depends on the grand jury's decision.
The next step would be taking it to grand jury, and then once it's taken to grand jury, that will determine the actions necessary between the Marietta Municipal Court and the Common Pleas Court with the misdemeanors and the felony.
Bumbelow was released on a $15,000 bail on October 9th. A preliminary hearing was held on October 16th.